Yo, what is good, guys? C4 IQ, penetrating eardrums again. Yeah, another one of these like audio vlog things. Yeah, I'm just gonna call them CounterPokes from now on. It's easier. Mad cheesy name, but anyways, yeah, another CounterPoke. Basically, a couple of days ago, I posted on the UK FGC group about character loyalty. I just thought it'd be cool to hear people's thoughts and opinions on the thing. Got a bit sidetracked. People started talking about like balancing issues and stuff, and like dealing with having bad characters and stuff. Kind of veered from the point that I was, opinions I was trying to get, where to be a character loyalist, it doesn't automatically mean a low tier character or a mid tier character. So yeah, obviously I only asked what everyone else's opinions was. I didn't put mine up there. So I thought I'd do this just to get my point across, put my 2p in. So yeah, basically what I kind of meant with the character loyalist stuff is people that pick a character before or without trying to find out what characters are good in the game. So you solely pick the character on what they look like. If you've picked them in previous games, you like their storyline, blah blah blah. Regardless if that's a top tier character or not. I know there's definitely a lot of different ways people decide on what characters they like. For me, I think it's really different compared to other people. If there's a lot of people using that character, it'll automatically turn me off that character. Even if I do really like them. I'm trying to think of an example. There isn't really any top tier characters I like, to be fair, in any game. Nah, I can't think of any. But if there was, if Sagat was my favourite character, or Canny in AE or something, I probably wouldn't play her, just because I've seen a character regularly used makes me bored of them, unless it's like at a high level, like a higher level player using that character. But for me, yeah, obviously, yeah, I am character loyal. When I play Marvel, you'll see me pick Iron Fist, and God knows that character is garbage. But I like Iron Fist. I liked him, obviously, in Marvel comics and Marvel cartoons, because he's never been in a fighting game before. Yeah, he's garbage. I had to pick two characters to basically make him work. So it's Iron Fist and 2 assists. Trish, I didn't like at first. Shout out to DBZ. He made me like the character. He used to use her. She was frustrating to fight, and I was like, yep, I want to be doing that. So I picked up Trish. I know she's from Devil May Cry. I know a little bit about her story. She looks okay. But yeah, mainly because of it suited my playstyle. So like they're the two main reasons I like a character, whether I've liked them outside of the game and their playstyle. In sort of like the Street Fighter games, I only really touch charge characters and characters that don't have DP. And that led me to Bison pretty much. Before Bison, I used to play Rogue, and then he got nerfed, and it kind of got to the point where he got nerfed because people were moaning about his jab and blah 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 blah. I don't know why anyone moaned about Bullrog, but yeah, back in the early days, people used to moan about him. Started playing with Bison, and I think when it comes to Bison, it's pretty unique because obviously, if you've heard me at offline tournaments and stuff, or about Cross Tekken or Street Fighter, I'll always promote that Bison is whack. I know he's not that bad. He is probably mid-tier in both games, probably. But to me, it's a weird one, because I like playing him because in my head, I think he's rubbish. Where he hasn't got options like everyone else has. And Scissors get snuffed at. He's got his EX Cycle Crusher's whack. Like, all he's got is EX, like Devil Reverse, the Gad situations. I haven't got DP. I haven't really got a free framer. So to me, when I win with Bison mentally, it makes me feel good. Sounds mad cheesy, but yeah, that's pretty much why I play Bison, and that's why I started playing Bison. And then once I started playing him, I started to like his personality, because in most games, I normally pick the villain in games, but obviously Iron Fist isn't the villain. I liked him in the comics. I like heroes in comics. I like villains in games. So I play like Wesker and stuff. I play Akihiko and Persona. He's not a villain, but he's kind of on the bad side, if that makes any sense. But yeah, basically, yeah, they're the points that I look or I get drawn towards when I pick my character. Villain, purple as well. Sorry, if the character's got a purple costume, I'm always on that. So villain, purple. The kind of usage of the character, the popularity of the character. The lower the popularity, the more likely I'll get drawn to that character and their playstyle. Like I said, charge characters normally don't do DPs. I hate Dragon Punches. That'll be another counterpoke. I hate Dragon Punches. So I won't pick any character with Dragon Punch. And yeah, it's basically, for me, it's more like an identity thing. That's why I do it. I want to play someone and I want them to know or remember that they played me. So when it's cross-taken, it's like, oh, that's that Bison Brian guy. I don't care if they don't know my name, as long as they know that I play Bison Brian or they recognise the team. Obviously, in something like Street Fighter 4, that's not really a thing. In team games, you get that a lot more when you see like Morgan, Doom, Virgil, automatically you come up with a name. Even with single characters as well, you can say Dormammu and you can think of a person who plays Dormammu at a high level. Obviously, I'm not gassing myself up thinking I'm like a pro level, but if I'm trolling online or when I go to the offline tournaments, yeah, it would be nice to be recognised for my character or characters and teams, whatnot. And I think there's like 3 main ways of getting like a player's identity through their characters or their playstyles. So yeah, like their playstyles, you can see. I'm trying to think of an example. Someone like Ray Ray. If no one else knows, he plays Marvel. He used to play Ryu, Magneto, Sentinel, and everyone kind of knew Ray Ray because he was literally the only Ryu player out there. But now he's picked up Doom. Everyone thought I would be like run-of-the-mill, standard, you know, Mag Doom and drones. But when you see him play, you can tell it's Ray Ray from any other player that plays that team because of just how he plays. His combos are sick, his movement's ridiculous. And obviously he's kind of recognised for his playstyle. His hit confirms are ridiculous. There's so many Mag and Doom players, but still you can tell it's him that's playing that team without seeing his name on the screen, obviously. So yeah, that's one way of getting an identity. I'm not that good, so I can't do it that way. That's just not going to happen. I'll play a bit lame. I'll play like a punk. I'll run away with 30 seconds to go on the clock with Bison happily, because I'm an arsewap like that. But yeah, obviously that, like I said before, character and teams. With games like KOF and Street Fighter, where you've only got one character, it's a bit harder to establish yourself with the one character. Obviously there's people like Sanford, who's got Sagat, and Happy Medicine, Bison player. He's got a personality as well, so maybe that's why he's a bit known. But it is definitely hard to get yourself established with one character in a single character game. When you've got teams, obviously, because there's a lot more combinations, it's a lot more easier to get recognised. Like Abigail with like Tron 4 and She-Hulk. Like, I haven't seen anyone else play that team. Not even as a troll. I've not seen anyone play that team but him, and he can play at a high level. If he wasn't playing that team, would he be as well known? Don't know. Like, it's hard to say because he could pick up a top tier team and then he could batter everyone. It could be his team that's holding him back from winning as much. You don't know, but he stuck to his guns. He's picked that team. He's going with it. So there's that, and obviously, yeah, like I said before, personality. A lot of people, obviously, in the pro level, they're kind of known for their actual backstory, not like the character's backstory. Their actual backstory is like Sanford Kelly. Obviously, he pretty much picks top tier. Right, everyone knows that. Everyone's heard it. He picks top tier, but people still know him. They kind of associate a character with him. Like before, it was Saga. He played Cammy for a bit because Cammy was top tier. But now he's playing Oni. He's saying Oni's good. Other people were unsure whether it's just not knowing the matchup. But he's obviously, it's not you're not relating the character to him. You're just relating the characters from. You're relating him to the characters instead of the character to him. So obviously back in the day you'd say Sagat, say Sanford, as well as obviously there's other ones, L.I. Joe, other really sick Sagats, Reinhardt, blah blah blah. But with Sanford you obviously relate the character to him. So yeah, they're the points I feel identify a player. And with me, I guess I can only do 2 out of them 3. The teams, unique teams, and personality. If anyone watches the stream, then yeah, you get my personality. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen, of course taken anyway, I've seen people play Bison Brian. I've definitely seen that 1 or 2 times. Do I think they're any good? Yeah. It was a long time ago, to be fair, so I don't know. Back then I was a scrub. I'm still not that good, but back then I don't know if they were good. I couldn't gauge it on anything because they beat me, but I'm pond scum in the cross-taken swimming pool. Don't get pond scum in the swimming pool. What do you do if it's... Anyway, yeah. What was I saying? So yeah, with the character teams, I tried to make it unique. In Marvel, I'm a lot more unique with Trish, Cap, Wesker, Anchor Wesker. Like, I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit. Wesker was considered like the most ridiculous Anchor character in the beginning of Marvel. If for people that don't know, obviously, you don't play Marvel. Everyone that does play Marvel knows that him and Sentinel were completely frowned upon as Anchor characters. They were meant to be the best level 3 X Factor characters in the game. From day one, I said that is not true. That is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard. I can't see how Wesker, a character with no beam, he's got a gunshot, I'll give you that, does a bit of chip, fair enough, but he doesn't control space. So if someone wants to run away from Wesker, it's not hard, especially if you've got to fly. Ground characters is a bit harder. If you've got like Wolverine, it's a bit harder to get away from him. You can duck his gunshot, so you just stay crouching until you see him teleport, just mash light. There's nothing you can do. You can't command grab you, you're just throwing out lights. Anyway, yeah, I thought he was garbage. But because I saw everyone using him, I thought I don't want to be socialized with these cruddy Wesker players that are just putting on Anchor and going ham. So I stopped playing Wesker for ages until pretty much Ultimate come out, and then everyone discovered Strider and Virgil, and then I kind of went back to him. And then people, not only did people stop playing Wesker on Anchor, they stopped playing him altogether. And it made me want to learn him more. It was really weird because there was less Weskers, but I felt, oh right, this is my time to start playing Wesker again, because I know he's not a bad character, but people were just using him incorrectly. Like, I feel, obviously there's no real right or wrong way to play a character, but putting him Anchor, I don't think's right. Although I do put him in Anchor position, I never tried to have him as my last character. I just put him there for DHC purposes. But yeah, Anchor Wesker level 3, I think's garbage. When I have him, I think I earn it, because there's a lot worse characters in level 3 X Factor. So it's weird how people get kind of like brainwashed to think things that aren't real, if that makes any sense. Like Sentinel as well, go back to Marvel, Sentinel did not need to get nerfed, but they nerfed it. The problem wasn't Anchor Sentinel, it was X Factor. But because everyone moaned, because obviously a couple of people thought, oh, I'm just losing to Sentinel. The reason they had Anchor Sentinel in the first place, the other things, is because they wanted drones. It's not because they thought, oh, Sentinel's a good Anchor character, let me put him in Anchor. They're putting him Anchor because they want drones for their 2-point for their first and second slot characters. But Marvel is a completely messed up beast. I don't think people quite grasp what's going on. Like, Fnatic done like a thing ages ago, but I might like link that in there. To how he mentally visualizes or sees how to win at Marvel. how to get like scrub proof and all that sort of stuff. But going back to the character loyalty thing, obviously I don't want to just like badmouth anyone who picks top tiers all the time. They are necessary to the community, to FGC, definitely. With them, obviously you get matchup. So if you go online on any game, the best character you will bump into a lot more. Let's say Persona 4, you will go in Persona 4, I'll say within, if you go to like ranked or player match, with the first 3 people you play, one of them will have Chie or Mitsuru, just because them 2 characters are ridiculous. Maybe you as well, but yeah, mainly them 2 characters, because they're so good. They might be top tier, they might be good, but it's for the person who's not using the top tier characters, it's good because they're going to get matchup experience. They're always going to run into one. You can't avoid it. It's not like going to Street Fighter 4 and saying, oh, I'm not going to learn the Khan matchup because no one plays it. You'll be alright. Like, once in the blue moon, you're facing a Khan, you might get bopped, you might not, but it doesn't really matter because it's not a regular occurrence. You don't have to keep worrying about it. With Persona, a lot of the characters are pretty good, bar like probably 3. All the others are pretty much viable. Even the 3 bottom characters, they've got stuff like, one of them's got an unblockable from like full screen and stealing and stuff like that. So they're definitely viable. But not seeing them as much, I think, makes matchups, makes people lose to them as well. Where you've got like the low tier character, you've always got matchup experience in your hand, in your favour, sorry, because they're gonna have less knowledge on how to fight your character. Where obviously, if you've got a low tier character and you're fighting top tier character, you're gonna have to run into them on a regular basis. So yeah, it's kind of like, it's all good that people want to go quote unquote tier whoring. They're just gonna make an army for the top tier characters to make it easier for everyone else to fight them. So it's all good. The only thing I don't like about people that just pick a top tier is that when people normally follow fashion or go with the flavour of the month and pick the character that everyone's scared of, and when Punko started batting everyone with Seth, everyone picked Seth. Everyone seemed the same, and like that, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a flowchart of a character. So obviously, when people pick a character, they'll look at the top players that use that character, see what works, what they're doing, and then they kind of just copy and paste it. They just mimic it. But I don't. To me, I don't think that's a good playstyle, because then all I have to do is beat the flowchart. If you can't think outside the box once you've been downloaded, then you can't really win. Like, for example, if someone wanted to play like Punko and just the only game he played was the uppercut FADC, right? That's all they went for because they saw Punko do it, blah blah blah, whatever. When they've got no meter, they're kind of just winging. They've got no like game plan, because all they're doing is doing the flowchart of what Punko does. And granted, it probably works for them as well as it does for Punko, but obviously Punko does stuff outside of that. So yeah, I'll just say, if you're gonna pick the top tier characters, maybe learn the character first before you go to look at how other people play them. I think that's what the problem is. Obviously you do need to have someone guide you through the character. That's always well and good, so definitely do that. But when you like copy someone's complete playstyle because they're saying this is how you play that character, you're just going to be enough of a statistic. You're not going to be, I don't want to say you're not going to be a threat, because if the tactic's good, then you are going to be a threat. But yeah, it just seems like a flawed theory to want to be like that. I don't know, it might vary from game to game, because in Marvel you can pick Mag, Doom, Sentinel, you can play the throw chart and it will pretty much work, unless you've got a really, really strong team, or maybe a CounterPoke team. well, actually, yeah, tell a lie. If you do come across something like that, you just pick a horizontal assist, because the carbon copy will see that, oh, with missiles I can do what I want with Mag. But if you keep counter poking with your assist, the beam doom, then they'll have to change it up. They'll have to think, right, I can't play like I've seen Filipino champ play, so I'm gonna have to change it up, blah blah blah. So yeah, I've been waffling on for far too long. So yeah, that was about it, the long version. Sorry guys. One thing about character loyalists, I think they're needed in the game, in the community, sorry. But so are people that just play to win. They keep the competitive bar held high because they're using the top characters, and they're doing what the top players are doing. And there's a bunch of them. They're setting the bar, the standard for everyone else to get to. So they're both needed. I'm obviously on the side of the character loyalist. I'd rather pick the character I like before picking the character I know I can win with. But yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone who obviously commented in the comment I put in the group, on the UKFCC group. Much appreciated. I might do this on like once a week sort of thing, just throw up a topic and then talk about it afterwards. If you guys want to listen, then you know where to find me. Mash on Pad, my YouTube channel, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. If you disagree with me, which I'm sure loads of you will, put it down in the comment, flame me, troll me, do all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.